I'm top. King Rock. And they'll be facing.
Just about.
Well, I hope you. The time has finally arrived. These two men have been jawing at each other for months. The talking is finally over. Now it's time to fight. Can't find a home for that jab. How about that time counter shot? Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. He misses with that jab. Well, I hope you brought your sunscreen. You're going to need it as we have our main event underneath the bright sunny skies.
In such heat, the cornermen need to be able to do their job. Think about what they're doing. One to cool you down, one to ice you back, one to give you instructions in your head, and one to just calm you to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Because that's the most important thing. Forget about the heat. Forget about everything else.
What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. That counter shot lands. You don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. Jab not finding its target. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. And around that seemed like he turned. And there's the bell to start round two. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Counter puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching you every move, that every trick.
Unlucky to miss with that jab. He scores with the counter. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Catch and shoot. Caution being thrown to the wind. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Good counter punch. Jab slightly off target. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. The game plan does not. Let's get it started in round three. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. they throw a shot, they get countered. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Straight right, just misses. That jab doesn't score. That counter punch caught him clean. Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Very competitive round with 10 seconds left. That bell. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Hey, it's the featherweight division. You're going to see a lot of speed in this fight.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
No rest for the weary. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Nice counter shot. Punching. That jab doesn't find a home. Well, Johnny, you know there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive. How does he exploit that?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you.
I gotta stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. Oh, and it's flashing lights for the flash here. He's got to get out of trouble. And the kid goes down. As you can see, it was a hit to the head that did it. Let's watch it again.
A shot from the gods.
Gotta wonder how big of a factor that knockout. Here we go in round 5. Who's gonna land the first big shot? His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's gonna do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they gonna come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
Beautiful counter punch. The jab doesn't quite connect. Nice slip to avoid the jab. Nice counter shot. Well, you know with featherweights, the hands are going to be flying. A lot of punch output.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
the charts. Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Nice counter. Good defense on that right hook. Stamina is off the charts. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Well, this is the time that the train... There's the bell for round 6. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
Some fighters are just gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Nice counter punch right up the middle. These two fighters are made for one another. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Perfect counter shot. Missing with that jab. Beautiful counter shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Well, he is grabbed. Here we go. It's round 7. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot.
And it took one bomb to put one bomb down. Thank goodness we've got instant replay. We get to see it again.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
Got knocked down but didn't stay down. Once again showing you how much grit and courage this fighter has.
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your eagle's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up.
Oh, Johnny, take a look at this action. Right now the Flash is seeing flashes after that shot. How did they survive that?
Defense.
Whoa, Johnny, take a look at this action. Are we about... And in this replay, you can see it. That body punch thrown at him like a lawn chair.
Where did that come from? What a shot. The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left? Well, then look at his corner. Look at the instructions. They're telling him to calm down. Make the most of the count. Get up, breathe, and move. Get behind the referee. Save yourself a bit of time. You just need to make your way back to the corner. Somehow get to the end of the round.
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Both men were knocked. And we enter the 8th round. Both fighters went to the canvas last round. What are we going to see here?
One fighter got knocked down early, got back up again.
We knew his chin would get tested in this fight, and it failed him miserably.
I've got to see that again.
So time to go celebrate after a knockout win.